Valentine's Day. You love it, your partner hates it, and it sucks. Or maybe you hate it and you just clicked on this video to find out what I had to say. Either way, no matter what side you are on with Valentine's Day, it can be super disconnecting when you and your partner disagree on what you want Valentine's Day to look like, if anything at all. And when you know what to do with that disagreement, it can actually be really, really connecting. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm so glad that you are here. We are just going to have like a chat today. If you've been following for a while, usually I put podcast episodes here on YouTube, and I am so grateful that you are here. I am so grateful you've subscribed. I just started this channel back in September, and I just appreciate every single one of you who are here. And thank you for taking time to comment. I would love to hear if you like this style of video. I would like to do more like chatty videos where we're just hanging out. Usually with a podcast, I love a good script because if I don't have a script, I leave, not like a full script, but very planned out what I'm going to say. Because if I don't have one of those, I leave and I'm like, oh, I forgot to say this. And it's so important. It's such a big piece. And I don't like that because I like to give everything, all that I can, which is really hard in like a 15-minute video. This is going to be more hanging out in my comfy chair that I love so much that I didn't realize makes me look like I need like a pipe and a hat because I'm in a library. So we're just going to chat. I would love to hear if you like this kind of video. And if you don't, be nice. Because I'm a human over here. I'm Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. So we're talking about Valentine's Day today. And yeah, I'm not going to go into like the history of Valentine's Day because quite frankly, I don't even know what it is. But I do want to talk about what happens when you and your partner totally disagree on Valentine's Day, because for some people, they love it. They love it. They love to feel loved. They love the extra specialness. They look forward to getting something from their partner. They just love like this amplified day of love, which is the coolest. And for some people, they don't love it. They see it as, a business's way to get more money, and that it's just been so commercialized. Commercialized, is that the right word? That it is just just a ploy to get money, and it's just another day with a name on it. And also some people are like, we should just be giving love all year round. Why do we just do it on this one big day? Which is also cool. These points are so valid. These beliefs are so valid. And that's really, really, really where we want to start when you have a differing opinion than your partner. Because it's super easy to, okay, say you're the one who loves Valentine's Day and you tell your partner, like, I love it, I'm really excited about it, I would love to do something. And your partner kind of responds with saying, ugh, like Valentine's Day, it's just a big thing just to make money, etc., etc., etc. It is so easy to personalize that in the moment, to make meaning of that. Not even personalize it sometimes, but to make meaning of either thing. To make meaning that, okay, if you don't like it, if you just think it's all about making money, then that means that you don't love me, or you don't want to pour love into me, or you don't care what I think about it. It is so easy to do that. We can even flip that because it's so easy for the person on the other side to hear, oh, you love Valentine's Day, you think it's amazing, you think it's special, you think it's this big, beautiful, lovey day. That means that you don't feel loved by me year round, or you don't care what I think about it. So we, human brain, bless it, bless it, bless it, we create stories about everything. We want to add meaning to everything. So when we can step back and just see those things as our own personal beliefs and views and thoughts and ideas, and take like personalization and take the stories away, then we can go, oh yeah, that's valid. That's valid that you love it. Cool. And that's valid that you don't love it. That's valid that you think that it's just a big moneymaker. I can see how you would think that. So we can validate both of those points. I can see why you would love Valentine's Day. You love pink, or you love red, or you love lovey things, or you're so romantic. It makes sense you would love this day. So we can really validate each other. So when we start there, what we really want to do is start with curiosity. So leading with curiosity about, and like compassionate curiosity, genuine curiosity about what is underneath our beliefs and thoughts. And we are not coming from a place of trying to change your partner's opinion or change their belief. But when we lead with curiosity, we get to learn more. We get to help our partner feel seen and heard, which is like just what every human wants. And then you're more likely for your partner to see and hear you when you lead with that curiosity. So what that might look like is getting really curious. If your partner says, "Oh, it's a big moneymaker." Oh, yeah, I can totally see why you would think that. That makes so much sense. I see it differently, and that's okay. So we want to say like, and that's okay. Both of these things exist. And then you can lead with like, do you remember? I'm just getting curious. I'm just thinking like you can lead with asking, do you remember, have you always felt this way about Valentine's Day? Or do you remember what Valentine's Day was like when you were a kid? I remember handing out cards in class. Did you do that? Was that something that you liked as a kid? Because it was something that I loved. I'm just remembering right now. I don't know. Did everybody do this where you put like the little card, and you did, you gave them to everyone back in my day. Everyone got a little card, and then at the end of the day, you got to like go in the little paper bag and read all of the cards. So I loved that. For somebody else, they might be like, oh, it was dreadful. I hated, my mom made me sit down and write out all of these cards. Or, maybe I didn't get a card. This is where we just get to start getting curious. Getting curious to learn more about our person because they are a unique, wonderful individual, just like you are. So curiosity is really, really key. So whether you love it and your partner hates it or the other way around, it is so easy for that to just spiral into a fight unless we lead with compassionate curiosity. Curiosity is literally your best friend in relationships. Bestie. I also say that deep breaths are your best friends. So we have a few best friends in relationships, but there really is no one size fits all for this Valentine's Day chat. It is about being curious. And when you get curious and when you really validate and hear your partner and see your partner and appreciate that they're sharing with you, you're sharing with them like, oh, I really love that you're telling me this and what you do and don't like about it. Only then can you two start to co-create agreements about what Valentine's Day might look like for both of you, knowing that you have wildly different views of what you would like it to look like. We want to be able to co-create agreements, and that can only truly happen from a place of love when someone feels seen and heard and appreciated. So if your partner doesn't feel seen and heard at all, and you're like, I love Valentine's Day so much, and they're like, oh, it's a big moneymaker, and you're like, yeah, but I love it, and I really want to do this. Can we go out on a date? And I really, really want flowers, and you're kind of trying to make this agreement without seeing or hearing them, they're much more likely to just dig their heels in or just kind of agree to go along with it, but not be fully into it. When you do the curiosity and appreciation and love and all of those things, then when you start talking about what Valentine's Day might look like, no one's fighting to be heard anymore because you both feel seen. And I know you might be like, well, they haven't validated or seen or heard me. They're much more likely to do that when you do it for them. I might have just said that, but we are driving it home. It is a big point because, yeah, you can't make your partner change. You can't make them watch this video. You can't make them do anything. You can't make them do anything. All you can do is lead by example and go first, which I'm always talking about going first in relationships. So that is a huge thing. And then you get to co-create agreements. And what co-creating agreements looks like is suggesting something, or if your partner suggests something, if you don't like that idea, we want to come in with, so your partner's like, let's just have dinner at home then. And you're kind of thinking, well, we always have dinner at home and I kind of want it to be special. So instead of saying that, instead of like shooting it down, saying, oh, I love that you're willing to do something and talk about this. Dinner together sounds amazing. Would you be into doing dinner out? Because you're not shooting it down. You're like appreciating their idea and you're offering an idea on top of it of like, oh, this would feel really good for me. And then in an ideal scenario, they might be like, oh, I don't really want to do dinner out. Could we do this instead? Of course, you can't control their response in the script. So if they were just like, oh, I don't really want to do dinner out, that's where you get to lean in. Instead of letting it spiral, you get to lean in with that love and appreciation and curiosity and like maybe suggest another idea. Okay, totally get that. You don't want to do dinner out that night. Maybe they're working late or maybe they don't like to do dinner out. Maybe there's a whole bunch of reasons. But you just get to keep co-creating this agreement to where it feels good for both of you. Because, of course, if you wanted like dinner out and you want flowers, and you want chocolates, and you want a card, that would be your ideal. And if your partner's ideal is that you do nothing, Those two things are wildly different. So where can you meet in the middle and in a way that actually feels good? Because it isn't about just like tossing out everything that you want. It's finding something that feels good where you get to a place where you're like, oh, I really get it that you really don't love Valentine's Day. And the fact that you're willing to like do dinner at home with candles and then we watch a movie after, the fact that you want to do that when I know that you really hate this day, that actually feels really good for me. So I'm okay with that because we're actually doing something. So you really get to this place where you are co-creating those agreements together. And of course, like I talked about, some people are like, we should be pouring love in to our relationships all day, every day, all year. I am 100% on board with this. 100% on board with this. Small things often. That is the Gottman Institute motto. That's the Gottman Institute motto. So doing small things often, small lovey things, pouring those into your relationship year round, that is so important. So we want to do that. And there's a lot of buzz around Valentine's Day. So definitely want to keep pouring in love and validating. If your partner says that, like we should be loving all days of the year, it could be so easy in that moment to be like, yeah, but I love Valentine's Day and this is a big day. And instead to just be able to be like, you are so right. Like, you are so right. That is so important. We should be pouring in love. I'm so glad that you feel that way. This is how we get to shift the conversation when it might have gone into a spiral in the past. And another super important thing about Valentine's Day is just remembering that your partner is not a mind reader. Yeah, they don't know what you would love. And maybe you have hinted at this thing so many times. And if they haven't done it, that would be a pretty good sign that those hints aren't working. So we get to get super clear in our relationships in order to set us and our partner and our whole relationship up for success. And I know, like, I love surprises. So I know that that is an important piece too. So these are awesome conversations to have outside of maybe these bigger moments, because I know Valentine's Day can feel really big for some people. Like maybe it comes and goes, maybe you fight that whole day and it feels extra terrible because it's the day of love and that's like in our faces. And also maybe you really wanted flowers and you didn't get flowers and now you're really, really disappointed. The way that I look at that, and this is just my humble relationship coach opinion, is that if I want flowers from my partner, I will say for Valentine's Day, I would love flowers. That would make me feel so good. I would feel so loved. I will get specific and say, you know what? I don't even need flowers. I would love one rose. I would love whatever that is. Then I'm setting everything up for success because my partner knows exactly what would make me feel loved. And then when he does that, I don't think to myself, oh, but I had to tell him so it doesn't mean as much, which I totally get when people do think that. And I did used to think like that because I wanted that surprise. And now I've shifted into the way that I think, oh, I told him how much that would mean to me. And he went out of his way to do that thing. There's a cat hair flying by. And he went out of his way to do that thing, and it feels so good. So this mindset shift around sharing what we would love to really set us up for success. You know, you could want flowers for the next 50 years and you never say anything and your partner never gets them for you and Valentine's Day comes and goes every year and you just feel disappointed and you feel sad. Or you could really share with them, I would love. And we want to frame it like that because we don't want to say, you know, if you say you never get me flowers, well, it would make sense that your partner would then dig their heels in and be like, oh, well, I can't get anything right. My partner's putting me down. That doesn't feel good. The last thing I want to do is go out and buy her flowers now or buy him flowers now or buy them flowers now because they're just making me feel bad. So framing it in that way of I would love is so, so, so important. Whatever that thing is. Like usually what I tell my partner is I would love a card that just has something really heartfelt written in it about why you love me or why you appreciate me, because I'm a words of affirmation girl. So just to have those words of affirmation to really set our partner up for success is so important. And really, I think that's it. I think that's it when it comes to my thoughts on Valentine's Day. I mean, it's definitely not it. I'm going to end this video and be like, I wish I said all of this, but that's okay. I had a few notes. And the main overarching thing here is to lead with curiosity, because when we hear our partner doesn't love it, we may get triggered, our defenses go up, we feel rejected, we feel hurt, we feel all of these things. So instead, when we can soften and go, that is so valid. You're allowed to have a different opinion than me, and it's valid and it's okay. It doesn't actually mean something about me. That is just the hugest freaking place to start. So this is it, our first chatty video. Please let me know in the comments if you like this sort of video. I would love if you would just leave questions in the comments or let me know anything that you want to chat about. I'd be so happy to do Q&As or make episodes about those things. Anything at all, any topics you want to hear, let me know if you like this style. I appreciate you so freaking much for being here. And if you haven't subscribed and you did love this, please subscribe. We can hang out. It'll be amazing. I am sending so much love into your day. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So let's have a super intentional week.